Hi everyone, welcome to our Day 1 CES 2022 coverage. We'll be covering a whole bunch of announcements from a variety of vendors. Obviously we can't cover them all today, but we're going to try and touch on some of the more interesting ones that grabbed our eye. We'll see you on the other side of the intro. CES is always interesting. There's always something new and original coming out, but this year I haven't seen anything that really wowed me. But with that said, we're going to start at the top. Sony. They started with PlayStation this year, and they are announcing a new feature coming to the PlayStation 5 called, originally, PlayStation Tournaments, which will allow you presumably to play tournaments with fellow PlayStation members across the world. PlayStation VR 2 is now official. We have a name for it. It's called PlayStation VR 2, and lo and behold, the originality there. But that's not what grabs us. What grabs us is, while we don't know a release date, we know that it's going to have 4K HDR support, a 110-degree field of view. We're getting brand new controllers in the form of the PlayStation VR 2 Sense controller, and most interestingly, we're getting haptic feedback in the headsets, which Sony says is going to bring a whole new level of realism and depth to the VR experience. We'll have to see. In somewhat of a blunder on Sony's part, during their PlayStation discussion, they were highlighting features, and the third feature here really grabbed my eye, or rather, I struggled to read what was trying to grab my eye. They put the words upgraded, upgraded visual fidelity in white lettering on an almost entirely white background, making it virtually impossible to read the words upgraded visual fidelity. The last thing from Sony that really grabbed my eye was their 2022 TV lineup, which isn't a surprise. There's always something in the TV lineups from Samsung and Sony that really grab our eye. This year, Sony's announcing something called QD OLED, or Quantum Dot OLED. And it's, not surprising to hear the words best ever, latest and greatest, and blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, it's coming to their, A95K series televisions, which are only available in 55 and 65-inch variants, which is kind of disappointing. Now, again, only 4K, but it is an OLED panel with the latest and greatest technology that Sony can bring to OLED. On the topic of OLED, though, Sony's launching the A90K series televisions, which you might think is just a downgraded version of the A95, but in fact, the A90K grabs our attention because it brings OLED panels to smaller form factors. The A90K is available in a 42 and a 48-inch version, which I think is amazing and great. It allows somebody who doesn't have a lot of space to get into the OLED panel space. Moving on, AMD. AMD announced their Zen 3 Plus architecture coming to Ryzen 6000 mobile CPUs and APUs. It's based on 6nm lithography, offers RDNA2 GPU architecture in the APUs, and a brand new chipset that will bring DDR5, specifically low-power DDR5, USB 4, and Wi-Fi 6E connectivity options to mobile platforms running the new 6000 mobile CPUs. Amazing. These chips run at up to 5 gigahertz. Incredible. 5 gigahertz in a laptop. Can't believe it, but unfortunately and fortunately, depending on, whether you're Team Red or Team Blue, AMD's not the only one offering 5 gigahertz in a mobile CPU this year. ASUS. They came out and they announced a whole bunch of things. One of the things that instantly grabbed my eye is this amazing new logo that they're going to be putting on all of their ZenBook laptops. It's so great. I think ASUS should start using this logo everywhere. Don't limit it to the ZenBooks. But as I say ZenBooks, ZenBooks were everywhere in ASUS's CES 2022 launch this year. We've got ZenBooks with 2.7K displays, ZenBooks with OLED displays, ZenBooks in new colors, ZenBooks with external displays, new processors, connectivity, designs, and so much more. It's really overwhelming to cover because of the number of models that they launched. There's a ZenBook with, as I said, an external information display on the outside of the chassis. There's a ZenBook with an OLED panel, a regular OLED panel, and you'll know what I mean by regular OLED panel in a few minutes. There's the TUF lineup, which, I really didn't consider the TUF branding to be a laptop brand, but here it is in the form of the Dash F15, which gives you DDR5, an RTX 3070, 165 Hz display, and it does that all in a laptop no more than 20 millimeters thick. Think about that for a second. Oh, and of course, you're getting the 12th gen Intel CPUs, which I'm going to guess are going to be, on the high end of medium or the low end of high-end processors. So that brings me to one of the most innovative, I guess, ZenBooks that Asus launched this year. It is a laptop, I don't know if you can even call it that, with a full foldable OLED display. That's right, it's a foldable OLED display. And it's kind of cool because the whole clamshell opens up and the whole thing is display. And then you can use an external keyboard with it, which means that you can take this display and either have it sitting in the traditional, laptop form factor, or you can open it completely up and have it as a really giant mobile display that contains all of the CPU and GPU processing power inside it. And lastly, let's not forget the ROG lineup. One of the standouts this year is a brand new esports display from Asus, 27 inches, 1440p resolutions at 360 Hz refresh rate. It's a beast of a display. I don't even want to know what the price is going to be when it hits the markets. Samsung, who can forget Samsung as a CES 2022 keynote presenter, and they didn't disappoint. Starting out, Samsung Gaming Hub, a one-stop shop for all of your gaming needs on your Samsung display. Coming to all 2022 model Samsung TVs, the Gaming Hub brings you things like GeForce Now, Google Stadia, what's this other one I've never heard of before? Utomic, or Utomic. I'm not really sure on pronunciation, but whatever, right? Gaming mode offers low latency mode, AI upscaling, and optimized audio experiences specifically for gaming. But that's not all. Samsung didn't stop there. I mean, TVs are TVs, but we've heard a lot about the BFGDs, big format gaming displays, if you want to keep it to a G audience interpretation. Well, Samsung is launching the Odyssey Arc. It is a 55-inch gaming display that's curved. It sports a 1000R curve that you can either use in a standard landscape mode, or you can rotate it and use it in portrait mode and turn that 55-inch display into a whole lot more. Because now with something called multi-view, you can have your gaming at the bottom, your streaming in the middle, and a video chat going at the top, all on the same display. And then you can start to, get into the creative elements of multiple displays if you, are made of money. So that was kind of cool. The other standout from Samsung is something called the Freestyle. It is a portable 180-degree point-and-play projector that you can pretty much do anything with. It offers 1080p resolutions. It does auto keystoning and auto leveling for the image, so no matter where you put the projector, it'll help make that image look proper and not be distorted or stretched in the wrong places. And it gives you 360-degree audio, although I think it's debatable how well that's going to sound. I mean, look at the size of this unit. It's kind of tiny. But Overall, it comes with a bunch of lifestyle options and accessories that make it easy to carry around, makes it easy to mount in your house, and just move around. So enjoy it, but I don't know if it's going to justify the cost. And lastly, because I'm motoring through things here, who can forget Intel? So Intel had two announcements. Both of them gave me some joy, but one of them really stood out. Starting today, Intel is shipping Intel Arc discrete GPUs to OEMs for inclusion in all of their Intel 12th generation H series based mobile platforms. Intel decided to show off a few models. One of them, no surprise, is the Alienware platform running an Intel 12th generation H series processor in the Arc. But one of the more interesting and notable ones was Arc as a discrete GPU will power the Lenovo Yoga laptop this year. That'll be interesting because that is supposed to be a portable platform that does not, sit on the bulkier side of the laptop spectrum. Obviously, I've kind of already said it, but Intel announced their 12th generation H series mobile processors, which I hinted at it earlier. They go up to 5 gigahertz and you can get up to 14 cores in a single CPU package. That represents almost a 40% performance jump generation over generation. Thank you guys for tuning in to Byte Sector's Day 1 coverage of CES 2022. We can't wait to see what Day 2 brings, Day 3 and the end of CES, but for now we're going to sign off and say tune in again tomorrow to find out what new and exciting announcements we have. Maybe we'll have discovered something new and exciting that we missed from our Day 1 and pre-CES product announcement coverage. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Don't forget to tune in on Twitter and follow us as we tweet the day out. We're on Instagram as well, Facebook, whatever your platform is. We look forward to seeing you there. Have a great day and talk to you all later.